What do you do when your dad dies? I'm not talking about the legal stuff or the paperwork. I mean, like, what do you actually do when your dad dies? Because nobody really tells you that part. I left the hospital, went for a walk, very slow, fuzzy walk. I remember people passing me on the sidewalk and giving me a nod and smile as snot and tears were all over my face. And I remember thinking, you have any idea who just died? I was shattered. You're on the phone a lot and you're writing a lot of emails. Some of them are to family, but then some of them are to your family's lawyer. And I remember emailing my mom and dad's accountant for some reason, partly because they were close, but also I thought that they should probably know and they should start getting his affairs in order. They assured me pretty quickly that you don't need to worry about that right away. There's lots of time. On the phone, you're saying the same sentence over and over and over. Hey, yeah, passed. And every time you say it, it sounds totally fake, like you're talking about somebody else. People start asking questions. What do you need? So sorry, how can I help? And you don't really know what to say. And a lot of the times you're comforting them because they're reacting to the news for the first time. You're just doing tasks. Call this person, text that person, find an outfit for him to wear, drive it to the funeral home, figure out how to get his body from the hospital to the funeral home. You become weirdly efficient. Like, it's just another thing that you have to manage. And I think that's the first thing that nobody tells you. At the start, you don't really feel what you think you're supposed to. You feel busy, you feel responsible. You feel like there's a version of you that needs to show up and handle this, especially if you're the son. There's this shift that happens. You go from his kid to something else. You're making decisions. You're talking to adults. Like, you're looking at your mom different. People start to look at you different. And you just kind of step into it. Not because you're ready, but because there's no other option. And then there's the little moments. You'll be in the kitchen or you'll be driving somewhere or you'll be watching a ball game. And for half a second, just forget. Everything feels normal. And then it all snaps back. And it's like getting the news all over. That part, nobody prepares you. And it's not one moment, it's a series of moments. So what do you do when your dad dies? You do the next thing. You make the call, you answer the questions, you write the emails, you send the texts. You stand there at the funeral, you say thank you to people you barely recognize. You make sure everyone's had something to eat and hopefully a lot to drink. And maybe you give the eulogy to end all eulogies. And then you go home. And then the next day, you do the next thing. And if you're watching this and you feel like you're doing it wrong, you're not. If you feel numb or busy or strangely fine and normal, I did too. I felt sort of neutral. And then I felt really guilty about feeling neutral. But I've learned that I'm not broken and you're not broken. That's just part of it. It's your unique way of grieving. We all have our unique way of grieving. It's your grief. It doesn't look like the movies. It's a lot messier than that. And it's a lot weirder than that. It's more practical than that. And you just sort of move through it, one thing at a time. And eventually it starts to feel real. Not all at once, just in pieces. For the Dead Dads podcast, if you're already in the club, might as well subscribe.